A little bit too zoomed in? Hi. If you're still on the fence about getting Ray-Ban Metas, you want to stick around because I've tested them for 6 months. I paid my own money for them, so this is no way sponsored. And they're not exactly what I thought they're gonna be. So if you don't know what you're looking at, these are Ray-Ban Wayfarers. They're best-selling sunglasses, but with a twist. Obviously, the massive part of this are photos and videos you can take with your glasses, which sounds weird. It would sound weird just a few years ago. Everybody remembers Google Glass, right? That was a maximum absolute failure. However, these ones, I don't want to use the word game changer, but they're very close to it. And when it comes to the quality of both pictures and videos, I was kind of expecting that this is going to be very subpar, not something I'll be using every day. And to my surprise, the convenience of having these on your head all the time is absolutely immeasurable. These are great for those I wish I had a camera on me moments, or I wish I had been rolling. Okay, so out of the way. Thank you. Okay, well, just lost the drone. Oh, I'll have a lot of needles that I'll need to pull out of my ass. A couple of scratches. Yeah, dude, loop it! Yay! Oh, who's the good girl? Who's the happy girl? Oh, yeah. Taking your phone out and searching for a camera app and then missing out on whatever you want to record kind of blows. With this one, all you do is you press here and you can start recording straight away. And it's maybe not a game changer. I wouldn't definitely call it a game changer. This is being overused massively. But it's certainly made a huge impact on how much of a life I document now. And those special moments when you thought it would be nice to have a camera, man, this is beautiful. Well, now you do, on your head, all the time. Obviously, when talking about the quality of both images and video, you can't really expect it to be as good as your main camera or even your iPhone or Pixel Pro, whatever it is that you're using. But it's really hard to tell if you're posting them on social media because, as we know, both Facebook and Instagram and pretty much any other app is crunching the quality so badly that most of the time doesn't really matter. And with these, because you can capture every single moment instantaneously, I think that alone makes a huge difference. But this is not the biggest advantage these glasses have over pretty much anything else wearable out there. This might not be the most obvious way of using these glasses, but when I was speaking to my barber, he said he always felt like he had to work extra hard in his life to be at the same level as everyone else because of his dyslexia. Now, these glasses sorted that issue altogether. Hey Meta, read these 2 pages for me.
The text reads, "We are planning on leaving the South Call at 8 p.m. for the summit. This gives us just 4 precious hours to melt snow, drink, cook, eat, and rest as much as possible. This is far from ideal, but we have to crack on."
I appreciate this might not be the mainstream use of these glasses, but for a lot of people, this might be an absolute game changer. And I'm not using this word lightly. Having the ability to read in a way that everybody else reads is a huge thing. And also, think about all the people who are visually impaired. Obviously, you've seen Be My Eyes. If you've been researching these glasses, you know it exists. But all these new updates that actually allow you to get everything in front of you read or even described, yeah, I think that's a great thing. And I appreciate that there's a lot of voices saying, I don't want Mark Zuckerberg to know where I am all the time or be on my face. I've got a news for you, Pumpkin. You're on YouTube watching this, giving away all your data as you do. So let's continue this in the office. There are a couple of other features that I think are absolutely key to these glasses. Also, a shameless plug, if you're into adventure stuff, Breathe by Molly Hughes is an absolute gem, written by a person who actually achieved a lot in her life. There is another application that I wasn't sure if I'll be ever using, which is the built-in headphones into these. Now, they don't sound any good when you compare them to any overhead cans or your AirPods Pro, whatever it is that you're using. But if you forgot to take your headphones with you when you left the car, or when you're going to the shops, there's no drama because you can just tap this guy and listen to your music. Lauren made us lost. Wearing these indoors, it kind of feels like a cheap imitation of Casey Neistat. But I kind of dig that. I don't have to look directly in the camera and it still works. Anyway, the big selling point for these glasses is the AI. And I'm not saying it's as dumb as Siri in the iPhones, but it's also not really groundbreaking. And the good thing is that this is being improved all the time, so the amount of updates we're getting on a monthly basis is pretty ridiculous. The only problem is that in Europe we're lagging a little behind the US, and that's probably down to GDPR regulations or something else. Anyway, if you're in the US, you'll be benefiting from these much earlier than we are here in the UK. Even things like recognition of the objects in front of us. So if I'll ask, hey, what's in front of me?
There is a camera on a tripod in front of you.
Cool, so there's a camera on a tripod in front of me. In the US, there's a new feature that allows it to analyze the picture better and give you a little bit more in-depth information, which I can't attest to because I've only seen it on the videos. As soon as it rolls out, I obviously will do more of an in-depth review of that feature as well. Now, if you're wondering if there are any massive flaws to these glasses, I would say it really depends on a person and how you use them. I've never went for transition lenses, so probably the battery life would be a big problem if I'll be using them both indoors and outdoors, because let's be honest, it's not great. Gives you about 4 hours at best, especially when you're listening to music or interacting with the AI. It will obviously drain much faster, and when you're taking pictures or videos, again, that has a massive impact on the battery life. I didn't find this as a massive issue because even after a few hours of driving, I normally go and grab a coffee. These go in the charging case. It's not a massive deal, but it might be a deal breaker for some of you. Every single video, I always go on Reddit just to double check if there's any questions that have maybe been left unanswered or concerns that I can address here. And most of that stuff is to do with either battery life draining too fast, although someone complained that their battery is drained after 9 hours, which is, I have no idea how you managed to survive 9 hours with glasses on, but yeah, kudos. Or the other person saying that they got damaged by water when they were in a water park. These are obviously not waterproof. It says that in a warranty booklet, in your instruction manual, on the website. They can survive sweat, and I'm guessing light rain, and I'm not recommending you doing this, but me living in Scotland, I had them in pouring rain, and so far they're working fine, but that might be just pot luck. Oh, and someone also complained about the tight fit causing headaches. So there are two frame sizes. You've got the standard ones and the large frames. These are large. I look and I like an absolute idiot in the small ones. Not that these particularly fit my face, and probably it's not everybody's cup of tea, but if you've got slightly bigger head, just go for the large frames. They will do you a world of good. Now, the big question here should be whether I regret getting these and paying so much for effectively a pair of glasses. And the answer is no. I kind of got them thinking they would be easy to resell if I wouldn't like them. And at first they felt like a bit of a gimmick, but the longer I had them on my face, the more useful they became. Putting aside photos and videos, because I think this is a massive benefit, and I appreciate some people might find it creepy, but still, when you're taking a picture, that LED blinks, and to be fair, you can't really miss that.
See ya!
But certainly having the built-in headphones that made a huge difference. And again, I always carry my headphones with me, but I carry them with me, and they normally stay in my van when I'm going shopping or I'm exiting the car, or even when we're traveling with a family, the kids are kicking off in the background, I can just tap them and listen to my own music. I think my wife picked up on the fact that I'm sometimes zoning out into my audiobooks or Metallica or whatever. They are handy. If you're a parent, you will really enjoy that feature. And obviously for people who are visually impaired, these help to literally read the room or read the text in front of you. And with the live translation that I will dive into in a separate video, because that's completely separate topic, and I don't think a short review like this would do it justice. In terms of whether you should get them or not, well, I'm not going to answer that for you, obviously, but since this is probably your 20th video you're watching on Ray-Ban Metas, I'm kind of guessing you really want them, and life's too short on ifs or maybes. So for me, these are super handy. I'm getting a pair with prescription lens, so I can actually use them in the office, because they do come in handy in other situations, not just being outdoors. But whether you should get them, well, weigh pros and cons I gave you my honest opinion. And as always, if you have any questions about glasses, drop them in the comments below and I'll get back to you. Have an awesome day.